Good afternoon. I want to welcome everybody to the, I guess it's the September 16th work session for the City of Bristol Industrial Development Board. I'm going to turn it over to Danielle for just a second to go through the protocol for the Zoom meeting.
Thank you, Chairman. As you guys all know by now, Governor Lee, by executive order, has suspended the provisions of the Electronic Meetings Act, or the Open Meetings Act, in order to allow governing bodies to conduct their business electronically rather than having to be present in the same physical location. I will note that one condition of meeting electronically that the government has added since the last time we met is that if you are attending by audio only, if you don't have video, then you are asked to identify yourself by name and position when you speak. In order to hold a meeting electronically, the governing body needs to make a determination that meeting electronically is necessary to protect the health, safety, and welfare of Tennesseans in light of the COVID-19 outbreak. So at this time, it would be appropriate for the members of the Industrial Development Board to discuss whether they believe meeting electronically is necessary and to vote accordingly. Please vote by roll call.
Okay. Could I entertain a motion that we agree that this is acceptable and necessary?
I'll make the motion.
Jeff Jones makes a motion.
Jones.
I'll second it.
Logan McCabe second. Okay, Tom, if you could do a roll call for us, please.
David Wagner,
Yes.
Bert Crandall,
Yes.
Rob Nyker, Logan McCabe,
Yes.
Nancy Cook,
Yes.
Raj Venkataraman,
Yes.
Jeff Jones.
Yes.
Okay, it's all the voting members that are here.
Okay, very good. And thank you. Tom, do we need to do another roll call just for official roll call for the IDB, or does that suffice?
Well, I think we have that just from that one. Danielle, would we need to do another one?
I think you've got everybody here.
I do.
Okay.
Okay.
Very good. Well, I'm going to kick this off and then hand it over. I think we've got a pretty full agenda. And first of all, I want to say thank you to everybody for joining. I think the last meeting we had, we kind of got a little confused and just had a lot of questions. So I think today will be a very good work session. I'm going to turn it over to Dr. Amy Scott. I think she's going to kind of introduce her team, and then we'll let you guys take over the presentation. Dr. Scott.
So Ms. Penley's going to share screen with you guys, and we'll roll in that format as far as how you'll be able to see the content of the presentation. We are super, super excited about being able to share with you just an update around how we are very intentfully preparing our graduates to enter the career environment. And I think you guys will notice a difference in the opportunities that we are providing for our students. And that's really what the Superstar team will showcase for you today. So let me tell you about those folks and then give you some housekeeping information about the actual presentation. We're going to cover a lot of information. We recognize that. We'll have an answer question opportunity going on the side in the Zoom chat. So please feel free to jump over there and put a question. Dr. Ashley Shue will be helping us manage that. She is a Tennessee High assistant principal, very knowledgeable about all of these entities that we will showcase today. And then if you have questions, certainly jot them down along the way if you'd like to ask them to the group in a more official manner, and we'll certainly do a Q&A at the end. The people you're going to hear from today, Brittany Slagle, Tennessee High counselor, Laura McKay, AP and CLEP coordinator, also dual enrollment liaison, Rachel Fleener, Tennessee High counselor, and Deidre Penley, director of career and technology, also assistant principal. And there's some other duties in there that you guys can read. Real excited for you to hear from each of those folks as they really summarize certain entities that we'd like to really put in front of you today. So let's get started. Brittany will take it from here.
Right. Good morning, everybody. Or I guess now it's afternoon. I am going to start off by just thanking you all for having us here today. We are really excited to get this opportunity. So I'm going to get into the detail regarding the why behind us being here today and showing you all the many ways that we use advanced placement, or you'll hear it referred to as AP, here at Tennessee High for different types of graduation recognitions for our senior class. So on your screen, you are going to see a bunch of different boxes. There's a lot of information here. And I'm just going to very briefly go through all of those. The very first one is the graduates of highest distinction. That is, there my screen went away for some reason. So the graduates of highest distinction is a graduation recognition for our senior class. In order to receive this graduation recognition, students have to complete 4 or more AP courses. They also have to have a cumulative numerical GPA of a 95 or higher, and also have a 29 on the ACT or a 1280 or higher on the SAT. Referencing the data in the chart to the left of your screen, you'll see that the class of 2019 had 16 graduates of highest distinction, whereas the class of 2020 had 22. So we had a little bit of a jump there. We were super excited whenever that happened. The next box is the state distinction recognition. This is awarded to students who have at least a 3.0 GPA and who meet any of the following items listed underneath that box in the middle. So AP really comes into play here because students who take an AP course and attain a score of a 3 or higher on at least 2 of those exams are considered graduates with state distinction. For the class of 2019, we had 129 seniors graduating with this honor. But then for the class of 2020, you'll notice a drastic drop. And this is primarily because a large portion of our graduates who do earn this state distinction qualify by their GPA and also by having an industry certification. And then COVID happened. So in March, whenever schools closed, a lot of the industry certifications that our students use to qualify for this, a lot of those tests were canceled or postponed. So a lot of our students didn't get the opportunity to earn state distinction like they did in the years prior. But hopefully we're hoping that's going to be a positive trend for this coming graduating class. The next box is it's all about Tennessee Scholars. So this is another type of graduation recognition we can offer to students. In order to be eligible for this status, students must complete a minimum of 80 documented hours of community service. They also have to have an attendance record of 95% or higher during all 4 years of their high school career. Then they, of course, can't have any out-of-school suspensions, and they are required also to have a certain academic standard that they meet. AP comes into play here because there are, AP is another one of the ways that students can earn Tennessee Scholars recognition. So with the class of 2019, we had 55 Tennessee Scholars, and the class of 2020 had 58. So we had a couple more than we did last year, and our numbers didn't really fluctuate here because these distinctions are awarded in January or February. So this was already determined prior to school closing in March. And then Deidre, yep, there we go. So this next slide is about the Ready Graduate Indicator. This is a type of measure that's used to look at students' performance in a holistic manner that extends beyond the scope of academics. So the Ready Graduate status is earned by students completing various early post-secondary opportunities. You'll also hear those referred to as EPSOs throughout this presentation. EPSOs can be earned through many different ways. All of those are listed on your screens. Students can earn EPSOs by completing an AP course and the exam also. So that's another recognition that our students can earn that pertains to AP. And then we'll go to the next slide. Thank you. And then lastly, we have the work ethic diploma distinction. This is a relatively new type of distinction for our students in Tennessee. This was originally developed as part of the Labor and Education Alignment Program, and it started right here in Northeast Tennessee in Morristown. So this distinction is intended to promote the importance of work ethic among high school students. This is, let me see here, our bell's ringing, so it might echo in here a little bit. So the work ethic, like I was saying, its intended purpose is to promote the importance of work ethic in high school students. So to the students who successfully demonstrate a number of the standards, they they are awarded this recognition. So students have to have a minimum of 20 points in order to reach this status. And those points can be earned in a variety of ways. So they can have things, of course, like good attendance, a good disciplinary record, their overall grade point average, meeting drug-free standards, completion of CTE coursework and the industry certifications that go along with it. And then also the Tennessee Promise application, which is the last dollar scholarship from the state of Tennessee at any community college. And then AP also comes in here because students who take AP courses can also earn some of those points that count towards their overall point total for earning the work ethic diploma. So, AP is important. Really, it kind of itself in almost every aspect here. But one of the really neat things about the work ethic diploma is that many employers have recognized the value of all of these standards, and they've partnered with us by agreeing to grant interviews to any qualified applicant who applies for an open position within their industry or within their company. So these students are eligible to have an interview if they have met the standards for a work ethic diploma and if they apply for an open position within their company. So there is a little bit of data for you to view in the gray box in the middle of this slide. As you can see, our numbers for this have grown tremendously over the past 3 graduating classes. This is something that we've really started to, we recognize the importance of it too, and we want our students to know that it's so important to have all of these different standards that come into play here. So our numbers have just grown, and we hope that they continue to grow over this graduating class and future classes. And then in the box to the right of your screen, you can see all the different businesses and companies that have partnered with us to assist our students after graduation. And we are always looking for new partnerships. Therefore, if you would like to volunteer your company to become part of our network, you can sign up to do so in on the little box with the link in it on your screen there. So that is all for me. Up next is Laura McKay. She's going to review some of the information about AP and the different courses we have and some data from Tennessee High. Thank you all.
Hello. Good afternoon. I just want to thank the IDB for giving me this chance to provide an in-depth explanation of our advanced placement program and our newest EPSO on the block, the college level exam program. Both AP and CLEP are considered credit by exam, which means that the students take an exam, and if they earn a qualifying score, colleges may award them credit based on that score. While these two programs share an overlap in some benefits, by offering both AP and CLEP as EPSOs, we're able to provide each student with an option that best fits their needs. And I'm going to go into that a little bit more in detail, but first we're going to start with the AP program. Thank you, Ms. Deidre. So our AP program it was created to allow high school students to take college level classes, specifically designed for high school students. So that's an interesting difference between AP and CLEP. AP exams are a little older than CLEP. They encompass 38 subject categories, 7 subjects, 38 AP courses. They are modeled after introductory college course in the subject, and then they have to take that exam in order to get the college credit. All AP exams are given in May. Same time, same date. So kids in Europe will take the AP Lit exam the same time as ours. That created a crazy situation last spring. All right, if you will advance the slide, please. All right, these are the courses that we offer here at Tennessee High School. I think the newest one is AP Computer Science Principles. Our students are able to take these courses and take these tests without any kind of cost to them because of the partnership between the Industrial Development Board, BTCS, and the city of Bristol. They have taken over and paid for our fees, and that has really tremendously helped us offer these opportunities. Okay. So I want to start out with the test is not just the only benefit that students receive. That college credit, it's one part of it. Really, when a student takes an AP course, they are introduced to a massive amount of knowledge and experiences and perspective changes that they otherwise would not have without that AP course, because these are their first introduction. I mean, some of our freshmen come in and take an AP course. It's their first introduction to college preparation and college expectations. And through this, they will learn who they are. They will learn possibly their passion and maybe inspire them to follow a certain career. They learn self-discipline, problem-solving skills, self-management, time management, critical thinking, communication, and all of these give them that competitive edge against other students who, throughout college, application process, throughout training process, post-secondary career, and it also raises their level of employability because it is teaching them that self-management, because it is showing them how to learn, unlearn, and relearn. That adaptability is crucial now. I mean, you cannot remain stagnant. You have got to be willing and able to be adaptable in your thinking and learning. Thank you. All right, so if they take the exam, these are the incentives aside from the college credit. They will receive 5 final average points. They can qualify for the graduate of distinction, AP course designation, and then that college credit. And the reason I highlighted that AP course designation is without that designation on their transcripts, there's not really a signal to colleges and employers that this student has challenged himself or herself at a much higher level. So it is important to have that course designate, the AP course designation on their transcript. Here's some data from last year. The AP exam score scale is 1 through 5. If a student earns a 5, they're considered extremely well qualified, which would be equivalent to an A plus or A in college. 4 and 3 are both similar. And you can see it goes down to grade level of C, which is usually the cutoff for a lot of introductory college courses. If a student does not earn that C, it may lead to them having to retake the course. And next to that is is just how we and the country as a whole did amid the pandemic. The interesting thing is we had several students who continued to work and took the test, regardless that they hadn't been in the building. We had art students who were, contacting me, and they were at home completing their artwork. Music students, chemistry students, literature students who were all on their teachers, emailing their teachers and on AP Classroom because they care. They really do want to challenge themselves, and they appreciate having this opportunity too. And as with any data point, we cannot rely on one single data point to tell our students' stories. So this slide offers you a snapshot of our AP program for 5 years. This could not have been accomplished without your help. We are over 600 AP students, 1,600 plus AP courses and exams, 1 national AP scholar, 75 AP scholars, 18 AP scholars with honor, 28 AP scholars with distinction. We serve a very high poverty community. Without your support, this program, AP, would be inaccessible to our students. I don't want to imagine what would happen. What would it have meant for these students to not have it? Okay. So that brings me to CLEP, which has some differences. There is no developed curriculum or official CLEP course as in the AP. CLEP was offered to help any student, any age, any background, the ability to get that head start in college. You know, AP specific for high school students, CLEP, any age. I think some homeschool kids do take it at 14. Again, any age, you can be 29 and take a CLEP test. It's just basic knowledge, that introductory college level material that you've earned or learned through previous studies, personal independent studies, your cultural experiences. Students who transfer from either different states or different schools, they may have different courses that we offer, such as we offer integrated math. If they come from someplace with algebra, they may be able to take that CLEP algebra and that have that opportunity for that college credit. What we're doing at Tennessee High School, because CLEP was started for any age, not necessarily high school, we are aligning our courses, some of our courses, to prepare students, not just for the CLEP exam, because it sounds, we don't want to say we're just teaching that test. It's these CLEP exams are aligned to the guiding principles and the learning objectives of college courses. It's college faculty that help design this. All students are enrolled. If they take the test, they get the same 5 additional points. They have to take the exam, but it's very similar to our AP. Currently, we're offering that opportunity in composition and analyzing literature, and we plan to expand it. Our issue right now with expanding it is it takes a very specific computer need, and when we were building our lab, we only had 14 desktops available that meet that need. So it kind of creates a little bit of a difficulty to test enough students that we can, that we can make sure we're providing this opportunity for everybody. So one of our goals is to create a flexible space that can be used for dual enrollment, collaborative planning, and testing when needed. And the first step toward reaching our goal is replacing those desktops with laptops and increasing the number of available test computers. And we've already started on that. We have purchased 4 laptops already to use for CLEP testing. The test normally costs $85, but through a Modern States initiative, they can take, it's kind of like a prep course. There's some content on there. And if they go through that and complete the coursework, they will get a voucher for a free test. So the great thing about CLEP is there's really no cost for our student there, because Modern States, they can qualify for that free voucher. And this shows how CLEP works in tandem with career and technical education. Advanced CTE has also completed this same career cluster framework with AP. So by offering both, again, we can get the students who are academically wanting to really super challenge themselves with that AP, and we can offer them the CLEP, the students who transferred in, or maybe they want to challenge themselves, but they're a little unsure about that rigor. So if we can show them, if we can boost their confidence by, hey, you can do this, then possibly as they continue on, they would be able to take an AP course. just kind of summarizing, credit by exam, AP, and CLIP both help students and will equal greater academic success in college, high rates of retention and graduation rates. It will align with academic and technical classes, accelerates entry into career field of interest. Students, like I said, may find their passion. I find my passion through an AP class. Crazy. I'm not lying, I promise. I absolutely fell in love with literature and writing in AP English. So I truly believe it helped change my world. Taking AP and CLIP, this is huge benefit. We've all heard about these awful student loans that crush people with the crazy amount of interest. By offering this for our students, we can help them reduce or avoid those altogether. So again, I want to thank you guys for this partnership. It is really, truly helped our students. Thank you. This is Rachel Fleener. Sorry, Rachel Fleener is going to explain dual enrollment in colleges.
Hello, I am one of the school counselors at Tennessee High, so thank you for letting me give you all some more information about the dual enrollment options that we offer here at Tennessee High. So just to give you an overview, dual enrollment is where high school juniors and seniors can earn college credit while still in high school. These are courses taught by a college professor. So the benefit of that would be that students get the early chance to learn the structure of a true college course and what that entails. So emailing the professor, deadlines, the different online platforms that they might use, and they are guaranteed the college credit when they complete the course. And most of these courses are a 3 credit hour course. So currently we have students that are taking courses at the following universities and colleges. So at East Tennessee State University, this provides an online format for dual enrollment. We also have students at King University. These courses can sometimes be taken on King campus or online. Northeast State Community College, which is typically taught by a Northeast State professor here on our campus at Tennessee High. But this semester, they are in an online format, still taught by a Northeast State professor. We also have South College, which is an online format, and then Tusculum University, which is an online format as well. So having all of these, it does give students the best option to choose the best option for them. So the dual enrollment grant is the way that most students pay for these courses. So the dual enrollment grant helps high school students pay for some of the dual enrollment. You can see that juniors and seniors that meet the grant requirements will receive 2 dual enrollment courses completely free of the tuition cost. So most of these courses are about $500 a piece. And so the grant will pay the $500 for 2 courses. Then they will pay $200 for the third, but it does not pay for the fourth. So students can take advantage of those 2 or know that there are going to be some costs that they would have to pay for the tuition if they want to take more than that. But even when they do take those 2 courses, the dual enrollment grant only covers the tuition cost. So there's still going to be course fees, maybe some online access fees or books that the student would have to buy on their own. Okay, Deidre, you can move on to the next slide. So one opportunity that we have implemented, this is our first year with it, is what we call an early college Viking U. So that is an early college program for our rising juniors. So our current juniors right now, they signed up for it last spring. This is a program for students to graduate high school with a high school diploma and an associate's degree at the exact same time. So currently we have 12 juniors enrolled in the Pioneer Pathways program with Tusculum. So that is the one that you see on your left. These students take some Tennessee High courses along with the online Tusculum courses. They currently just use a classroom for their workspace, and Laura McKay is actually there with them and available. And so that CLIP lab that she mentioned earlier would be ideal for these students since they are working online. So that will give them additional resources that they could use. So we have 2 pathways that we've set up. Right now, we only have students in the Tusculum, but we do hope to be able to add more students to these programs and offer a program at Northeast State, what they would call the Bear Track. The Northeast State program will include a variety of class formats, so that might be more of an interest to some students than solely online. So their format would be some on Tennessee High campus taught by Northeast State professors, on Northeast State campus, or online, depending on the course. We can go to the next slide. So here is the breakdown of the cost for both of these programs. So both programs, we've estimated about a $5,000 cost just for the tuition for the 2 years. So you can see the breakdown. Some of the costs for Tusculum is covered by their own private grant, which is called the Tusculum Access Grant. So those students would be able to get some extra courses for free by using those grant funds. So they would still have to pay for their books, their fees, class fees. They do have to take a science with a lab, so they would have to pay that lab fee. So it says $500, or $5,000, but it could be a little bit more. And that kind of goes the same for the future track with Northeast State. They would be covered under middle college scholarship because they are a community college. That is just another grant program to be able to give students access to dual enrollment and early college courses. And again, they would still have to have some money to be able to pay for the fees and the books. So I think that might be my last slide. And I will turn it over to Mrs. Penley, and she will talk about our CTE program that we have here at Tennessee High. Thank you.
All right, thank you. So again, yes, thank you so much for giving us this opportunity to just explain some of the great things that are happening at Tennessee High. One of the things I want to start out with and highlight is that we have added 5 new programs of study this year. I'm very excited about that. You may have seen some of our social media posts about those things starting. The 5 are there in blue: cybersecurity, hospitality and tourism, sport and human performance, teaching as a profession, and welding. And all of those came about because we do a comprehensive local needs assessment, and that is based on data in Bristol, in the Bristol area. So when you look at those 5 that we've added, they are in like the top 5 as far as growth of jobs, several of those jobs available, and those types of things. So especially, you know, our hospitality and tourism, that is like our number 1 here. Of course, with COVID, that's kind of affected some things, but certainly wanted to add that. And the teaching as a profession, that any of our teachers were able to teach that. And so we actually had a social studies teacher that stepped up and really wanted to do that program. So we have Mr. Morlock teaching that class, as well as Ms. McMakin. And the welding, we're so proud of getting that going. And we were able to get a couple of grants to be able to secure these things. So the grants that we were able to get is the Perkins Reserve Regional Career Pathways Grant. The great thing about this is our local partnerships. So that is a grant that is it brought about our welding teacher, our welding program. It's quite an extensive program to start. This grant really enabled that. But we also had partnerships with Sturdy Light. They actually donated a 350p welding machine that was about $6,000. We also had a partnership with Tennessee College of Applied Technology in Elizabethton. We call it TCAT Elizabethton, and Northeast State. They all wrote letters for us and joined in on that grant. And then the second grant that we got helps implement all 5 of those new programs of study. And that's the Perkins Reserve Secondary Grant. We had partnerships with United Way and all that they help us do with our career exploration event. Also with BTES, Bristol, Tennessee Essential Services, helped us on partner, as well as TCAT and Northeast State. One of the other things that we do, so we have those 20 programs of study. The capstone experience of all of those programs is work-based learning. And this was a fun slide to put together because we have so many partnerships with local businesses. And of course, we're always seeking more of those. But you can see just a variety of businesses that host our students as work-based learning students. So a student that's a junior or senior, after they've taken at least 2 courses in one program of study. So for instance, if they've taken our Criminal Justice 1 and our Criminal Justice 2, then they may go on to take our Criminal Justice 3 or go ahead and do both of those and do work-based learning. In that situation, we would look for someone that's related with criminal justice. So maybe at a law firm, with our city attorney, we have students in that field. But you can see all of our programs of study actually have work-based learning students. And then we have a specific class in our health science program of study for clinical internships is the work-based learning portion of that. And not only do they go to Bristol Regional Medical Center, but there's a variety of other places that host our students, and you can kind of see those listed over there to the right. One of the things that we are proud of is the fact that we do offer a variety of industry certifications, and we're adding to that really several times a year. The Perkins Reserve grants that you saw earlier provide the funding for students to gain these industry certifications. So we were real proud to add the Adobe Certified Associate last year. However, with COVID, we were not able to have students test in that at the end of the year. But we will be soon, and this year we added Certified Pharmacy Tech. That we did have, we actually have 100% pass rate. We had 3 students test and all 3 passed. And those students actually can go right into a job. They may be pursuing further education, maybe in the health field. It may be a case where their part-time job in college is as a pharmacy tech, which would be an amazing experience for a student going into that field. But you can see a lot of the others there. I might highlight emergency medical responder. That was accomplished last year. One of the challenges with that is that we have to have a volunteer who is certified. We actually did have a volunteer that came to Tennessee High and put in 60 hours of their expertise in order to be able to certify our students that went through that program. And you can see we have several options of OSHA 10. Precision measurement instruments, the PMI, was new last year, and we actually had, I think it was 12 students certified in that. The NCCER construction, ServSafe food manager, and then our maintenance and light repair. One of the things that we're always emphasizing and looking for is community partnerships. A great event that we've had the past few years is the One Bristol Career Exploration event, and some of you have been a part of this. United Way works with us and several businesses and industries, but it's a partnership for Bristol, Virginia and Bristol, Tennessee. And so we had over 500 7th and 8th graders participate. Bristol Motor Speedway hosted it at their South building. And so we're looking at a virtual format this year, but that's a great event. We also have a community conversation where we have kind of a breakfast for several of our industry partners. Industry Day has been going for many years. Our main sponsors there are Bristol, Tennessee Essential Services. We also had TVA on board, but over 20 businesses and industries. We had 90 teachers and administrators there last year, and that was held at Bristol Motor Speedway as well. They're a great partner. But after we had our breakfast and our introduction, we emphasized apprenticeships, which we would like to get more of those going for our students. But then we had tours. So our teachers and administrators went out into the community and toured several businesses. But not only that, they partnered together. The teachers came back in the afternoon and wrote lesson plans that they implemented with our students from what they learned. So those are collaborative between CTE teachers and our regular education teachers. So it's just a great partnership there and event. We also have project partnerships. So for instance, if you have a business and you're interested in some of the programs that we have, we'd love to talk to you about partnering in some way. So one of the things that went on, we had Wallace Collision Center and they had their partners, Blue Ridge Color Coatings and Shop Fix, come in and revitalize our paint booth, our automotive paint booth. They donated a dryer for our compressor line. That was at least a $6,000 donation. They also just brought in the manpower, the elbow grease to come in and paint and clean up. And now we have that working paint booth. Another project partnership was what I mentioned earlier with Sturdy Light. They have partnered with us. It's a recent, Tennessee High alumni there that they donated that welding machine, and they're on for coming in and doing speaking, also for donating aluminum for our students to use in projects and to practice. So a lot of great partnerships there that we're always looking for more. And then lastly, our Sullivan County Work Ready community. We were able to get that designation last year, which was a great accomplishment. But one of the main reasons that we were able to do that was because we test all of our seniors on the WorkKeys exam. And if they make a qualifying score on that WorkKeys exam, they get the National Career Readiness Certificate, which is something that ACT does as well. We call it the NCRC, and that funding for that WorkKeys testing is provided to us by BTES. So we're very thankful for that partnership. So a lot of things that we've talked about here, but I'm going to hand this over to Dr. Scott again, and she's going to kind of wrap us up and summarize, and then we'll go from there. Thank you.
Okay, so you've heard from a number of passionate folks within everything that we're showcasing today. It's obvious that the partnerships that we have and the relationships we have, not only with the folks that we're speaking to today, but also with all of the businesses in our community are critical, super vital in how we move forward in what we're offering to students. And here's just a summary of students who are benefiting. So you can see that 316 students AP, enrollment, CLEP students, summary of dual enrollment credit, which I think is important to showcase, early college enrollment, and you heard specifically about our relationship with Tusculum, CTE enrollment, awesome number right there. We are super proud of that interest. And then industry certification. Again, something if you look back over the past year or even 2 years ago, you would see some of these things being completely non-existent. So everyone coming together and supporting us in Bristol as we prepare our students to become career ready is the only way for us to get to where we need to be. And we've recognized that. Our community has recognized that. Certainly the people that we're talking to today, you guys are the ones we know that are completely behind these types of initiatives. We just wanted to clearly communicate it today where we are and the progress that we've made, and take time to really thank you for the support that you've given us up until now. And of course, we're going to switch to our wish list screen, which you would absolutely expect, I would imagine. All right, so here what you're looking at, AP exam funding. This is something that has been a relationship between the people represented today, has been an ongoing, good standing relationship. We would just officially ask that we continue that 1/3 split within all of us. That's been around $25,000, and that allows us to fund AP exam opportunities for students. We talked earlier about how critical that is in the process of taking that AP course, and that financial support really does matter for our students, and would really be an obstacle for many of our students. We would like to officially ask for support with our CLEP laptop computer lab. That is around $50,000. We had some discussion in the chat about actually this lab has different certifications than other labs that we have access to in our building. And that's the difference there, being able to provide the opportunity to grow that program and to grow the opportunity students have to see and complete those dual enrollment or dual opportunities where they can get a college credit within one of our high school classes. And that's really a hardware support there in just growing that program. Then there's two other sections we'd like to put in front of you: dual enrollment and associate degree, which is Viking U, funding and support. And that can be book stipends, course fees, specific scholarships. If you're interested in any of those, even on an individual level, or you might know a company or a business that could really be passionate about some of these relationships or opportunities, you can just email me directly and we will work through getting you in a right spot to be able to say, hey, we'd like to pay a book stipend for 10 kids, or I have this much money, but I'm passionate about it going towards course fees. I want to take that off of students. We can honor your thinking and your request and your financial commitment that way and make that a priority. And any type of contribution would help us. Once you really look at what it costs for a student to be able to participate in the opportunities we've created, we can take support of any kind there. Then you heard Deidre talk very passionately about our, not only the partnerships, we'll do that one first. So the partnerships, I agree with her, putting that slide together, hearing all those partnerships and looking back 12 months at the difference of that list. And then the year before, when that list hasn't even started. I mean, that is amazing. That is powerful stuff to really look at the support and the buy-in we have from our community. So if you or anyone that you know is interested in getting on that list and being a part of that partnership, email Deidre directly, please, and she can work you through that. Then we also need members of the CTE Advisory Committee. So if you're interested in that, work-based learning, obviously apprenticeship, if you're interested in any of that piece, email Deidre also directly. So if you're passionate about this be in high school and get an associate's degree, email me and then the rest goes directly to Deidre. So we're going to move towards Q&A. We have a couple of things that have happened in the chat. However, we're very open to any questions that you might have as a group or individually. And again, thank you for the time you've given us today and the support you've given us up until this point.
Okay, very good. I think we have had some questions. I've had a couple on the chat that have been answered, but I think it'd probably be appropriate just to open the floor, just identify yourself. You have a question, and let's get a few Q&A out there.
This is Raj Venkatraman. I hope you all can hear me. Great presentation, great contribution done by Tennessee High School. I'm really impressed with what you all doing in the CTE program. I want to tell you, I commend you in a very short time period, what you are doing. I think that will be a best fit for, I believe, for this, our area of doing that one. I'm glad to hear about the work-based learning partnership. I know we're involved with the Teachers Industry Day for a very number of times. I see how active you're doing it, and also I'm appreciative of what you're all doing on that community partnership and everything so forth. I do have a question for Laura. Laura, you showed me a 5-year history of AP, how many students has been participated and everything so forth. That is commendable. However, can you share with us what the 5-year trend looks like? Is it going in an upward direction? Is it flat, or any kind of a direction going on the trend?
It's definitely going in an upward trend. We had a couple years where some change in AP staff, or we tried a virtual program, and that trying that virtual AP program is what told us we need somebody in the room with the dual enrollment students. That students, high school students, really need that support, the in-person support. And so that's why I'm in here now. So we've learned and we adjust, and we're growing the program. It is a definite option, or a definite point for us that we are constantly looking to innovate and looking to support the AP students and the AP teachers. Last year, we had almost 55% of students who earned a 3 or higher. And I think that was up. The 5-year trend is 42%. So, that is definitely increasing. We're learning and we're evolving as we need to support our students.
Good. And another one I noticed that you showed all those, each one of the category, math and everything so forth. The one area little concerned me from presentation, I hope you're all addressing it, is the chemistry. When you compare to the THS to that Tennessee and state level, it shows low on the bar. Are you all paying attention and making some strength in the chemistry area?
Definitely we are. That was actually one of the exams that globally, worldwide, students had difficulty accessing. Once they got on the test, they had difficulty submitting it. The way AP exams worked in the spring, instead of the paper pencil 3.5-hour endeavors that the kids went through, they tested at home on any kind of device, cell phone, computer, iPad. Somebody tried to take the test on an Xbox, which was not allowed. But I'm just saying, students were given an option. And it was the first time AP had tried to unroll these online platform tests. And due to their test security measures, students who started taking the test that first week really had difficulty with submitting the exams. So I think, at one point when you look at data and, you mentioned trends, the trend last year would have to include what happened with that exam. I know that Mr. Reese is a fantastic teacher. He is fabulous, and he's going to do what he can do to support his students. I know he's here supporting them after school. He's emailing. While we were all stuck at home, he's emailing me and he's saying, "Hey, I have students. What can I tell them? How can I share this?" All the AP teachers stuck at home were still connecting with their kids and with me, because it's just that important.
Ms. McKay, I'm going to jump in here as well. So as far as the chemistry, I just want to give another voice to that. So we have looked at data as far as how to address our scores in AP chemistry, and we've also looked at our course format for course planning. So one thing to consider is that we are on block schedule. So these courses are still taught in one semester, whether it be first semester or second semester. And then that test for the AP, they give us a window that begins in May when we have to test. So we looked at some surrounding schools and what schools were doing around the nation as far as AP chemistry. Most of the time, AP chemistry taught as a chemistry 2 class. So that means students have their basic physics and chemistry, they have a Chem 1 and then an AP Chem 2 as that college level class. And so we've had to try to look at that. We looked at that along with our other course offerings to see if we have the staff to accommodate that additional course. So we are always having those conversations, but again, we don't want to limit our students. So right now we were not able to add in that additional precursor course. So again, we're trying to fit a wealth of information into a semester course. So we are still looking at that, but we are limited due to our number of staff that are certified and able to teach that to still provide quality instruction to our students.
Good. I got some ideas. I'll try to reach you also. You can also reach me. Something I can help what the Eastman Chemical does for the business does, schools at the area, that I see something I can help for Bristol, Tennessee. Also, I want to tell you, commend you, good job. Also, I would like to do something on the WorkBased, our CTE program on behalf of Siemens Corporation. Reach me, I will also reach you all, okay? That's all I have from my side.
Hey, Raj, this is David. Is or Tommy, the one, is existing industry group, do you all still meet?
Well, we don't. What I would like to do is this is the very educational program for me. Even though both of my kids went through THS to school, I'm learning more what they're all doing today. I'm really impressed with what they're doing. That they're adding that fine new program and everything on that. What I would like to do is something I would like to contribute through the industry, which we can look at that, David. Something we can re-energize it, something to do for contributing in this area, especially in the technical field. I see that CTE WorkBased, I think we can help. And also I have some ideas how other places, the big cities does, and support the school system where that strength needed. For example, I'm going to tell you, we offer our the key managers and supervisor to do a social work outside of that the industry and everything, so many hours we want to go and do. They are professional engineers, chemical engineer, mechanical engineer. I don't mind sending to school and teach them in the late evening or in some other time the school can accommodate and educate something on the chemistry or math or anything like that. I got some ideas, something where we can do. That's what the Eastman Chemical does. And I would like to do something for the Bristol, Tennessee.
Well, my point there, Tom, if I think this would be a great presentation, especially Deidre's part on the CTE to give to our existing industries.
Right. I think the ICC, the the industrial council that we had, it got rolled into the first program
Yeah.
when they kind of reconstituted that with networks. But I mean, there's nothing saying we can, especially with this type of format.
Yeah. I think that we, instead of doing at the county level, I think we should do at the city level where we can help. I don't mind spearheading or someone join with me to do that. I think it's a great help we can do to educate our children.
I think that's a great idea, but I think we can put the ICC, get that group back together. I mean, Raj is the one that started that one, so.
I'll help. If somebody would help with me with the leadership, new leadership, I'm glad to do that. And I think it's a great thing to do. It is our duty to do, and from the IDB board.
Okay.
So I'll ask, I'll build on what Raj has said, and we grandparent a child who's still at Tennessee High, not a blood grandparent, but so just wondering if y'all do some things, if together we can figure out, because as Raj said, he learned more from this than from being a parent, and frequently high school students don't always communicate well with what they're being exposed to. So, and my experience is it's critical to have adults encouraging choices for schedules, for direction, et cetera, et cetera. So whether there are opportunities for more parent and community education for how we can encourage young people to take some of the choices that are being offered. Thanks. And great presentation.
I'll go ahead and jump in here. This is Malin. I have two things. And first and foremost, though, is, great presentation, very impressive to see all the things that are going on at the school system. And hopefully we can be more engaged and become a part of that. The first of all was, I guess, Ms. Fleener, we're talking about dual enrollment classes. And we listed several schools there. I guess my question is, are those classes, are they transferable to other schools as well? Or are they just be transferable to the ones that's participating? If a student...
They can be used at that specific school. So if a student takes dual enrollment through ETSU and they want to go to ETSU, then that works. But they also transfer to other colleges as well. So we have several students that use the Tusculum format. They like that online, and they are able to transfer those college credits to other universities. And we have seen it transfer very seamlessly to other universities in the area.
That's good, because I've seen in the past where, some issues would come up from, transfer students.
Yeah, and we can't necessarily guarantee that if they take a specific course, that it'll transfer as that specific course, but they will never lose that credit. They will still get the 3-hour credit, but that might mean that they have to take another math course, even though they took statistics with Northeast State. It may just be what their major requires or what the university or college requires, but they would have that 3 hours kind of banked for kind of elective credit if it doesn't transfer as a true math course or something like that.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Penley, on the CTE course, I noticed that there weren't any building trades courses, unless I overlooked that. Is there just
yes,
not a demand for that?
No, we do. We have construction, commercial and residential construction, 1, 2, and 3. And he's doing the NCCER industry certification in there. So yes, we do have our construction classes. as well as our machining and manufacturing. And then we've just added the welding there.
I guess I missed that. I was looking more like a
There's a lot on the
plumbing
slide.
class, a masonry class, a carpentry class.
Yeah.
So good.
Yes, and we've got students.
Good. I need to investigate
learning.
that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Mhm. Okay.
One thing I would like to point out while we have all these great minds together is that we really have, if you focus on the CTE piece, we really have maxed our building facility out. And I think Deidre would shake her head. And we know that we are revamping current spaces to provide learning opportunities for new programs, which sometimes that has its own set of obstacles. So as we move forward as a city and with all entities considering the needs of our young people, we really need to look at how we are going to house our CTE programs and how do we grow them and continue this energy. Because I mean, the energy obviously is here and it is right, and our students are really benefiting. So that out there for you all. We are maxed and we want to continue to grow. And as these partnerships, just in these conversations today, someone will pipe up and say, oh, I could offer this. And we're going to be in a pretty difficult spot. And so we just want to be transparent with you all and want you to know our need so that we can just openly talk about it as we move forward.
I would echo that very much. You know, we've started the welding. We had to move our ROTC to a vacant part of Viking Hall to be able to make that happen. But if we were wanting to expand, say HVAC or something in those, there would not be space for it. There are no more areas in CTE. So yeah, we are maxed out. You know, I mentioned the paint booth renovation. That is because that equipment was put in there in the 70s. So so that is something we are definitely looking at. If we're going to expand and add more programs, there are definitely things that we need to look at.
So with that, several years ago, we did a strong facilities plan and that we're working on right now in several different ways. And I know that there have been some in-depth discussions and some hopes with CTE that haven't been realized yet, but I would think figure out what the route is, but whether it's to go back to that facilities plan for an update, because I don't think CTE was as strongly on the horizon at that point visualized. So I would think that's a vehicle to kind of get an idea of what's needed and a route to go to update that plan. There might be other routes, but that would be a suggestion that might be a way to begin that process.
Great, thank you.
Okay, are there any other questions? And I did verify, you're going to send that.
I'm so sorry. In the chat, we have had some questions about the presentation. What is the best way to get the presentation to all attendees?
I will send it to everyone.
Okay.
Deidre sent me a copy of it, and I'll forward it to the people on the list.
Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any
I also have the original list of the Industrial Infrastructure Council, so we could reach back out to. A lot of them are still here. Some of them are companies' names have changed, but the people are still here.
Also, I would ask that if there were, I saw one question in the chat, but people who are watching online don't have access to that. So if there's any chat questions that are good to repeat so that everybody gets to participate, that'd be great.
Absolutely. So one of the first questions was about the associate degree awarded with the current Pioneer Pathway program offered through Tusculum. And currently students earn an Associate of Arts degree for their participation in that program. They are willing to work with students to allow them to tailor that to whatever the student may need so that we can customize that program as we move along. But to begin, students will earn that Associate of Arts degree. As far as the CLEP devices, the question was asked about the specificity of the CLEP lab and what is necessary as far as making that different from one of the other labs that we currently have at Tennessee High. And for that, it's really the technical component. So the screen size and the operating system, our current devices do not meet the requirements set forward by a College Board. I want to take a minute just to brag on our school. Most high schools are not listed as CLEP. They are not able to offer that testing to students. Most of the time, students must do that at a post-secondary institution. So last year we did apply and we were accepted as the CLEP testing center. So that's a big win for Tennessee High as a whole. We should be really proud of that opportunity to offer to students. But in order to expand those services, we would like to have a mobile lab so that we can test multiple classrooms of students, as we have embedded that modern states curriculum into our current curriculum offerings. So we would need to test those classrooms of students who are eligible. And so just having those devices and having more than what we currently have in our desktop setup would allow us to give more students the opportunity to take that assessment and potentially earn college credit. And I think those are the only questions that I had in the chat.
Okay. Well, I'm going to ask one final question, and you all don't have to answer this right now, but just because I know where our budget's at, how would you prioritize your requests today? And again, you don't have to answer that right now, but as far as what is really, truly, I mean, I've got some ideas about what I'm hearing from existing industries and what's important and what we're trying to get, but kind of get back to us about how would you prioritize these requests?
We can certainly do that. How about we have an internal conversation and then we'll have Deidre share that officially. However you guys have been communicating, possibly with Mr. Anderson or however, and we'll be quick about that.
Okay. Are there any other questions? Well, I just want to say thank you. I'll echo what everybody else has said. This has certainly been very beneficial for us. There's I wish we had unlimited money, but we don't. So, there are certainly a lot of things we could do and we need to support. So we will certainly try to do that. Tom, is there anything else?
No, just remember we have the regular IDB meeting on the 28th at noon.
Okay. I guess we're still Zooming that?
Yes, we're still Zooming that. The order's till the end of the month right now, so we're still good.
Okay. Hearing no other business, we'll be adjourned. And again, thank you guys very much.